the Dwyer version of performing arts is a program that is specifically for students who are more interested than taking one specific art.
It is a form of singing, acting, and dancing, all put together in one class, and it is also a split class, so it's grade 9s and 10s together, and 11s and 12s together.
I've always enjoyed teaching performing arts. I haven't done it for a number of years because Mrs. Schneider was teaching it. In the old days when the school was bigger and there were 3 sections of performing arts, it was Mr. Longhour, Mrs. Schneider, and myself who taught it.
When you stop trying to be embarrassed or anything along those lines, it can be a lot of fun and a new experience for everyone. I think everyone should get new experiences.
Better than your average class where you have some kids who are reluctant participants. You're dealing with kids who want to be there, by and large. They have the same outlook, the same sort of passion towards being in the arts. They like to extend themselves.
Once again, it's the same idea of pushing a comfort zone that some people might just not be as familiar with. Like if you get a dancer in here, not a lot of them like to sing. So I kind of like that aspect of it. Just how many ideas and how many people there are. Everyone's trying to be creative and becoming their inner self, which I think brings out a lot more ideas that are personalized.
We have so many good moments. We're all like really good friends and we just have a great time every day.
It's not just you get lines, you say it, you're done. There's a lot of technique we have to learn. You learn a lot about yourself too. It's not just school and you're done. You can go home with the things that you've learned.
It gives me an opportunity to like put my creative thinking somewhere. And like there's a lot of chance to create things yourself and you have a lot of freedom within the class.
I guess just like knowing the people watching you are like not hating on you and they're just like really supportive and just want you to succeed.
That we know as artists is to improve upon what you do, you actually have to reflect upon what you do. You don't have to be perfect. It's impossible to be perfect. But you have to give it your all. And and if you give it your all, then you can leave the performance and say, I did the best I can. I can't give anything more.
They're mostly girls. If any males would ever be interested in taking a course that has lots of women in it, performing arts and basically any of the 3 things, vocal, acting, drama, whatever, dance, if you ever want to meet more women, you should probably take one of those classes, or just take performing arts.
I think we're really close. Like it's probably like the only class I have where we're like everyone's just like super close and supportive, and it's just like a great time.
The people in the class are all very friendly. After being together for like 3 years now, you sort of develop like friendships with them, especially the people in your grade. You get like really close with them, and the people in the older grade are always very helpful.
Well, they're consistently really generous, nice, open, engaging people. That hasn't changed through the years.
Amazing, funny, hilarious, nice, down to earth, and again, just a family.
They give me cake. I've always said I'm happier, if you have a student who is not a very strong singer, but they do a performance where they have sung better than they ever have before in their life. They may not be a better singer than a person who is a singer by nature, but that performance is a quote-unquote better performance because they pushed themselves, they extended themselves, they took a risk, they reached beyond what they've done before. There is a real reluctance nowadays for people to write and to reflect.
Note-taking goes in, our reflections, our thought process, that's all what the journal's for.
And just standing there or sitting here saying, geez, I could have done that better, it doesn't actually put you along the road for improvement.
At the end of the day, it's going to help you, and it's going to help you be a better actor. Writing down your lines, knowing like certain movements that you may need to do in your dance. So at the end of the day, it does help.
There's elements in everything that can be appreciated.
Mrs. Schneider was always very committed and was always very student-oriented.
And I've done some really bad performing arts performances, or I've just been like not prepared and not doing anything.
You did, like even if it totally sucks, you'd still like have a huge smile and clap at the end.
And I've like struggled all the way through, and by the time I'm finally done, I'm like, that was horrible. And then you look at Mrs. Schneider and she's like deep in her thought and like looking at you. And then she'll say like some random compliment that like, or like appreciation for what you did that was there, but you never thought about it because of our tendency to focus on the negatives.
I used to be more rigid in rules and things like that than I am now. And I think that's my years of living with Mrs. Schneider taught me that you don't necessarily need to be that rigid all the time. Not to say it's not important.
I can remember she wrote in my journal one time, like during my self-reflection, not to judge my performances, just to observe them, sort of thing. She showed me that there's a difference between like judging people and judging yourself and being negative about things and sort of just looking at it in a more positive light.
It used to be a joke when we both taught drama together, is that she would do all the planning and I would make it look pretty. I think we both taught each other over time.